I began my search on the Dead Sea Scrolls with zero knowledge on the subject. As my research progressed, I gained valuable information about the meaning of the Dead Sea Scrolls and how their discovery posed a threat to the authenticity of certain religions. Upon their discovery between 1946 to 1956, there were approximately 972 texts discovered in 12 caves along the shore of the Dead Sea in a site called Qumran. The initial discovery of the first 7 scrolls was made on November 1946 by Butuan, his shepherd Muhammad Adib, and his cousin Juma Muhammad and Khalil Musa. For the next few months, the scrolls continued to exchange hands. Dr. John C. Trevor of the American Schools of Oriental Research found similarities between the 7 scrolls and the Nash Papyrus, which was one of the oldest biblical manuscripts known at the time. The similarity increased the legitimacy of the Dead Sea Scrolls. In March of 1948, the Arab-Israeli War prompted the removal of the Dead Sea Scrolls to Beirut, Lebanon for safekeeping. On April 11, 1948, the discovery of the Dead Sea Scrolls was announced in a general press release to the public. In the late year of 1948, the search for more scrolls resulted in the discovery of a total of 12 caves, along with dozens of fragments and scrolls with origins to Christian, Jerusalem Essene, sectarian, and Sadducean theory. Out of the 972 Dead Sea Scrolls, 220 make up biblical texts. Some of the biblical texts to which references were found, among others, are Genesis, Isaiah, Exodus, Leviticus, and Ezekiel. In 1953, scholars began to translate the scrolls, which were written in Hebrew, Aramaic, Greek, and Nabatean. The excellent conservation of the scrolls is due to the dry, arid, low humidity and the low airflow in the Qumran caves. In order to identify the age of the scrolls, scientists have used radiocarbon dating and have dated the scrolls to the last 2 centuries BCE and the 1st century CE. 3 types of ink were used to write the scrolls on sheets of parchment, papyrus, and bronze. Special cameras have been used to digitally capture the images of the scrolls without adding to the deterioration of them. Presently, Google is working on a digital project estimated to be completed in 2016 to make the Dead Sea Scrolls available to the public. Upon discovery of the Dead Sea Scrolls, making them public was not seen as the ideal thing to do. Some religions seen the Dead Sea Scrolls as a blessing, while others were afraid of the religious contents. For instance, some non-scholars believe that the Dead Sea Scrolls had been suppressed because they undermined Christian doctrine. The scrolls of K4, which contain over 500 texts, were tightly controlled by an editorial group of Catholic scholars who published about 100 texts over the course of 40 years. Why would such a religious group as Catholics, who pride themselves in spreading the word of God, keep such religious texts a secret, unless they threaten the church doctrine? This makes me question the legitimacy of the religion. For instance, the Pope and his cabinet have already controlled the religious content that has gone to make up the Old and the New Testament, only publishing information that won't compromise the Catholic Church. It has also been discovered that in the translation process of the scrolls, some words have been translated incorrectly, changing the meaning of the text. In knowing this, what makes us believe that the whole truth and translation of the scrolls has been accurately portrayed to the general public. For instance, the scrolls of K4 belong to a Dominican-sponsored school in Jerusalem that held direct ties with the Pope. This led me to the conclusion that all religious content has been pre-approved for publishing, suppressing, and destroying incriminating documents to protect the Church. It is already known that the books in the Catholic Bible have been inspired by Hebrew scriptures. Then why does the Catholic Church deny a connection to the scrolls by saying that they existed long before the Christian religion did? Such attitude and negativity towards the Dead Sea Scrolls makes me question the authenticity of the Catholic Church. The efforts of the Catholic religion, their attitude and control of the scrolls, reflects the threat they feared the scrolls posed on their church doctrine. In addition, the Jewish community is a nonviolent group that has been persecuted throughout history only for their beliefs. This community is also a tight-knit group that keeps it to themselves and doesn't go out into the community to spread their beliefs like other religions do. Why would such a group and their beliefs be persecuted and considered heretic unless they threaten the structure of other religions in which such beliefs had been centered around? Considering this information, Skepticism is our best approach towards religion.